Mosatle mahle kubumbana insimbi yesithupha lomhla ekuseni ngilesihlanu dinsuku tilishumi nakubili. It's a very good morning indeed and welcome to Kusile Breakfast Show. We hope that you're waking up in good and high spirits and that you're grateful to wake up. Kuvuka lungelele kusibusiso.
Kusibusiso kakhulu, as we always say, sifisa ukuthi sibonge umdali ukuthi asiphephise side sibone ilanga lanamuhla. It's the beginning of the weekend, my favorite day of the week. It's a Friday. I hope you had a lovely night. Sicala impelasonto futhi sithemba ukuthi yesterday was the official opening of the World Cup. Beautiful indeed.
Everyone super excited around that. But speaking of, football, that is the global football action, but local football action is continuing at a very high and, must I say, brilliant pace. You'll remember on Monday, Eswatini TV signed a memorandum of understanding with the Eswatini Schools Sports Association to broadcast the regional finals of the Instacash Schools tournament. And of course, we have been to the Libonjeni Lubombo region. We started at Gahoho region and then we went to Lubombo region. Itologe sibonile ukuthi tinsathelte msakato ne team yonke crew yethu. They drove down to Eshiselweni enhlangano la khona bekunema games khona nakhona ema region ase King Sopuza II Memorial Stadium. Sekuseleke inkabave kuphela imanzini kutawuse ngemva lokho kulandzela Mangamu. Eswatini TV continues to bring you that action, and I'm sure you will be seeing some of the latest updates at Inzabentetfu lomuhla lapha Kusile Breakfast Show. So kuhle kakhulu nje kubona initiative lenhle kanje.
That's right, Mngweni, kuhle kakhulu. In studio today sabe sijoyinwe ngu-TV license coordinator Ndabe Nhlezwane from ESTVA. Talking about a while ago, they signed a memorandum of understanding batawusebentisana na ERS ngokuthi isale ukuthola ama-permits eborder uma ngabe utawungenisa ema goods lafaya khathi ema TVs nema decoders. They're running this campaign and igama lebitwa ngokuthi no permits no import EP yakho campaign. Ndabe Nhle uJohnson studio asichazela kabanzi ngayo. Iyaqala ke uku-implement on the 1st of July 2026. Funa kuva ukuthi who needs a permit and which items need a permit. Ngibani kahle kahle kumele ukuthi abe nayo permit and ngimaphi nama items lekumele ukuthi ungene nawo.
Engabe wena uyayibhadala in TV license yakho lomhla ekuseni njengoba nje usibukela kumabona ukuthi awuke uthi hlole icale nje la kuwe lenzaba ukuthi engabe wena i-license uyayibhadala yini yamabona ukuthi njengoba usibukela ku set box yakho ye TV. Sitawuchubeka ke lihlelo lomhla sibe nalabaqhamuka kaBotho University batabe bahambane bafunzi bakhona inkulumo ke lo ngafuni ukuthi kuphutsele lena kanti ke sitawendlula emva kwayo sibe ne son and daughter of GPI Church, which is Lisonvo, the late Pastor Israel Zakhele, who posthumously is being published under his wife, Mage Zakhele. The leadership born, sitafunza kabandi ngayo lomhla ekuseni njoba itawulonjwa lomuhla eMavuso Trade Center. Otherwise, it's a good morning. It is the 12th of June. Good morning.
Those that are in pain must forget all the problems they have. Because the things of the earth have have got no answer.
answer la ikhona khona
But the answer that we have
ikulona losetule
is
emazulwini
all morning.
nangishumayela nini ngisuke ngidishumayela kwananami
When I'm preaching here, I'm preaching to
I
myself.
receive umoya longcwele
I receive the Holy Spirit.
I declare ukuthi a turnaround is coming my way
Memendela ukuthi a turnaround is coming in my life.
Akayithathe akahambe nayo.
Masatla mahle sichubeka nalo uhlelo lethu lomhla ekseni kungolesihlanu sidabukana nathi indzaba tethu desiswati silo semhlaba sithi livela kangwane kunengele litakuzuza even le United Arab Emirates ngoba lela live selihambe umgamu kudenfuthuko yamukela tencwadzi tebunxusa kulisiba lomusha wakulela live ingwenyama yithene sivumelwano lesisha semavisa lesikhona ekhatsi kwalamave lamabili sibhekeke ukuthi sibe nemthelela lomuhle kubantu balamave impube emhlaba yamukelele tincwadzi tebunxusa esigodlweni kalositha
Livele United Arab Emirates selithumela usiba Menso Mohammed Al Juwaid kuthi atawunxusela lela live kuleli leSwatini. Lolisiba ufike esigodlweni kalozitha takwethula tincwadzi takhe tebunxusa kiso silo semhlaba. LeSwatini linebuhlobo lebuneminyaka leminingi babakhona nalela live lesebunemthelela lebekhona lebonakalako. Akusiwo malanga mangakhi ingwenyama yemaswati beyisevenile United Arab Emirates lapho khona beyawuqinisa buhlobo emkhathini kwalela live neleswatini lekube nemthelela bekungeteka kwedivumelwano dekubambisana ekhathi kwalamave lamabili njengoba emalangeni lendlulile kusayinwe isivumelwano semavisa. Ethulela ingwenyama tincwadzi takhe tebunxusa usibe Menso Mohammed Al Juwaid unikete isiqiniseko sekukhulisa kubambisana etinhlangothini letehlukene kude kuzuze lamave nebantfu bawo.
Your Majesty, the United Arab Emirates attaches a great importance to its friendship and cooperation with the Kingdom of Eswatini, and I'm particularly encouraged by the recent signing in Abu Dhabi, the Memorandum of Understanding of Visa Exemption for the holders of diplomatic and service passport, which marks an important milestone and reflects the growing partnership between the two countries. I will dedicate my effort to enhance our bilateral relationship.
Siyamukela letincwadzi tebunxusa silo semhlaba sithe njengoba livele United Arab Emirates selivele lithuthukile lingakhona kushela nalugwayi neleswatini kulolihlangothi lapho khona ingwenyama ibese yaveta nokuthi sivumelwano semavisa lesikhona ekhathi kwalamave lamabili sesitawukwenda ukuthi kube lula kuphuma nekungena kwabantu balamave lamabili kulamave.
The agreement reached when I paid a visit to your beautiful country, where I was well received by the government, and we had a lot of discussions, especially as to how the two countries can cooperate in many, many areas. The signing of the agreement of visas waiver will allow, of course, our citizens to exchange a lot of visit one another, and in particular when business people want to go and do a lot of business, it's easier when you can easily access a country and so on. So we are looking forward that there will be a lot of opportunities which will be which we're going to see as a result of this agreement.
Imbube yemhlaba ibe seyethembisa usiba ukuthi live leSwatini litawumsekela limnike lonke usizo elalidingako. Edinsabeni kubika Pholile Mazia anathabiso Dlamini esigodlweni kaLozitha.
Kanzike ngonyama sayimeme bosomabhizinisi belive le-Swiss Federation ukuthi ibethe kutawubuka amathuba ebhizinisi eSwatini. Silo semhlaba besiphefumula esigodlweni kaLozitha ngesikhathi semukela tincwadi tebunxusa kulonxusele live le-Swiss Federation kuleli.
Live le-Swiss Federation Switzerland lithumele umhlonishwa America Manzoni ukuthi atawunxusela lela live kuleli. Usiba ufike esigodlweni kaLozitha kutakwethula tincwadi takhe tebunxusa. ISwitzerland isekele live leSwatini etinhlelweni tetentuthuko ngetivumelwano letikhona ekhathi kwalamave letibe nemthelela wekundlondlobalisa budlelwane balamave lamabili. Eminyakeni leminingi lengcile ibe miningi kakhulu imisebenzi yetentuthuko lesekelwe yiSwitzerland kuleli. Ethulela ingwenyama tincwadi takhe tebunxusa usiba welive leSwitzerland uvete sithingo sekukhulisa kubambisana kutekuthengiselana ekhathi kwalela live neleSwatini nesifundza lesisendasi nelivekati leAfrika.
Your Majesty, Switzerland has been a partner of the Kingdom of Eswatini's sustained development through continued cooperation which strengthen our friendly relation. In the past years, Switzerland supported projects to fight gender-based violence and to promote vocational education. In economic terms, our relation bears some potential. Your beautiful country has a great opportunity for Swiss tourists whose numbers are growing in Southern Africa. I'm convinced that your beautiful country will find its way on the travel plans of my compatriots.
Semukelwa letincwadi tebunxusa silo semhlaba sesimeme batshaltimali belive leSwitzerland ukuthi bete kutawubuka ematfuba ebhizinisi kuleli leSwatini.
Our two countries come many years ago as partners, working closely together. In all these 58 years of partnership, it has been a very much worthwhile partnership. We have really appreciated the support and all the support which we receive from your country, and as well as the experience. Of course, we also aware that Switzerland is one of the highly developed countries amongst countries of the world, and we are still, as a developing country, still in the process of making our own country a much more developed country. And to this regard, we count on your expertise and experience as to how you have managed to develop your own social welfare to the highest, because when one looks at your own GDP, it's one of the GDPs that could be admired by many all over the world.
Lamave lamabili angemalunga etinhlangano temave temhlaba letifa ekhathi inhlangano yakamhlaba yetekuthengiselana yakamhlaba yetemphilo yakamhlaba netinhlangano tetimali letifa ekhathi iIMF neWorld Bank. Edinsabeni kubika Pholile Mazia anathabiso Dlamini esigodlweni kaLozitha.
Silo semhlaba sesibongele mengameli welive leZimbabwe His Excellency Emmerson Mnangagwa ngekuthi live leRepublic of Zimbabwe likhethwe lingene ebandleni lelibuketa indzaba tekuphepha enhlanganweni yakamhlaba i-United Nations Security Council eminyakeni wa 2027-2028. Lokhu kuvakele ngelizinyana umbane Kusile Ndani lokulela live ngesikhathi yakhulumisana netinsatheli talo lela live.
we were sent by His Majesty the King Mswati III from the Kingdom of Eswatini to come and pay a courtesy call and pay his respects to his dear brother, His Excellency the President, where we came here to first to congratulate His Excellency on the milestone, of the Zimbabwe, what they've achieved thus far, being nominated and elected to represent the continent, in the UN Security Council seat 2027-2028. His Majesty congratulates his dear brother on that, and he knows that the president is very capable to handle that situation very carefully. And also, to look at ways and how we can strengthen the cooperation and relations between the two countries, Eswatini and Zimbabwe. We've discussed quite a few at large, agriculture, foreign relations, how we can do trade as well, what we can do to increase participation between Eswatini and Zimbabwe. I also acknowledged and thanked His Excellency and commended him for the development which we're seeing here in Zimbabwe. It is unmatched. This is what we want for Africa. And seeing such development here in Zimbabwe, every time we come here, we see new things coming up, the road network systems, new ones, the lifestyles of Zimbabweans, the way in which this country is being run. It's very well. And we are here, to learn on all of that. And that is why His Majesty the King sent us to come here to visit his brother and see how we can share those experiences together. So thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yes.
Mhlonishwa Ndvunankhulu itolo wemukela indvuna yetemcebo waphansi nemandla yelive leLesotho umhlonishwa Muhlomi Muleko lehambisana nelibandla lelibuketa indzaba temanti kanye nekuhlandeka kulela live laseLesotho indvuna kanye nalelibandla bakuleli kubateke kutawutsekela lwati mayelana nekwekutsi lakangwane lilisebenta njani luhlelo lwekuhlandeka lekuthiwa nguWASH. Libandla ke litawuphindze lifunze ukuthi yini lakangwane lelikwenta kangcono lokutawulisita kwenta siciniseko sekwekuthi emaswati onke ayafinyelela emantini lahlobile ngeminyaka wa-2030. Lokunye ke lokutawubukwa kakhulu kusebenzisana kwahulumende wakangwane kanye nenhlangano yaka-World Vision. Lo muhla ke indvuna Muleko kanye nendvuna yetemcebo waphansi kuleli umhlonishwa uMvalenkosi Lonkokhela batawungenela umsebenzi wekuvulwa kwemsebenzi wemanti Bulekani Water Project. Umsebenzi ke utawubanjelwa ekuphileni primary school ngaphansi kwenkhundla yakaZombotse. Indvuna yelitiko letemabhizinisi nekutsengiselana umhlonishwa Manqoba Khumalo sethembise likomiti lelibuke kusebenta kwalelitiko endlini yetimphunga kutsi ke itawuletsa sichibelo semtsetfo wetemazinga ePhalamende kute ubuketwe. Khona ke libandla lelibuke emazinga i-Eswatini Standards Authority litewukhona kusebenta ngaphandle kwekutsikabeteka uma likhutsata tinkampani kutsi tilandzele emazinga. Indvuna ke kuvete lokhu ngemuva kwekutsi lelibandla livete kwekutsi alikhoni kusebenta kahle ngoba tinkampani letiningi tiyaye tithi kangeke tikhone kuvala leminye imikhicito ngobe ke lokho akukho emgomeni wato noma ngabe lelibandla seliyaniketa emazinga lefanele alandzelwe kulolo hlangothi thide.
Imphunga tivakalise kukhathateka kwato ngendlela libandla lemazinga lelibukeka linebulukhuni ngayo ukuqhuba umsebenzi walo. Tikhutsate ukuthi ulungiswe masinyane umthetho wekusebenta kwaleli bandla.
Swasa ngemkhandla motherboard le konke kufuna ukuthethe kuye. Ngiva ungacishe ngathi ngisho lokwentwa baka health nangabe lo lapha etulu ungiswasa singathi bazisiphelile. There are so many products that come into the country.
The policy organ literally existed before the existence of SWASA. What happened to it?
Is it possible ukuthi sihlangane nikhulume into yembophane ngoba na environment ngalo vetile tuna ISO na ubuka kwakhe ma standards na water mhlambe ubuka kwakhe standard.
Ungena kwalamathayi kwaba namacompanies lamaningi labuya ngomakhelwane lavala avaliswa ukuthi lamathayi laqhamuka lingeshe achieve and substandard
kune-gap in terms of customer awareness. This has to be approached from all angles. Kwekuthi nalabantu emakhaya funa bathi what to expect. And then nalaba laba producer lama products funa bathi say okay mangithenga ngibona ngathi kahle mangabe kunjani.
Indvuna yelitiko letemabhizinisi nekutsengiselana uMhlonishwa Manqoba Khumalo ithi litiko liyayisebenta indzaba yekulungisa umtsetfo wekusebenta kwaleli bandla.
We need to fix this like yesterday because njengoba nje manje President Ashito nempunga umphana Nkosi Ngangabanye Ashito uma kwasebenza the space it's glaring, very glaring. Esicela ukuthi vele this will come with a certificate of urgency from my side.
Umphathi we-Eswatini Standards Authority Ncamiso Mhlanga uchazile ukuthi akusho ukuthi kubuketwa kwemthetho lesebatawusebenta ngawo, kusho ukuthi sebatawuthatha lowo lowentiwa tinhlangothi letahlukene netinkampani kepha batawusebenzisana nato kuthi ashicilelwe emazinga emitsetfweni nakuyo imigomo yaleto tinkampani. Lobikako nginelisiwe Ndlangamandla nginavuma inkosi Nzinisa eMbabane.
Indvuna yetemfundvo umhlonishwa onximalo ivakashele etikolo letintsatfu yashiselweni lekuyitshetse imakhonza kanye nakamzila kuyabuka emagumbi ekufundzela lamasha lakhiwe. Letikolo leti-ke tiyingxenye yetikolo letashaywa siphepho lesibitwa nga-Eloise ngeminyaka wa-2021. Kanti-ke elangeni langalesihlanu kutawuba nemicimbi wekuvula letikolo ngalokusemtsetfweni lokutawuba sesikolweni eJubukweni naso-ke lesakhelwe emagumbi lamasha.
Sinyeza letikolo letakhelwe imakhonza primary school lapho kwakhiwe bengemenge bemaklasi lasithupha likhishi kanye nendlu lencane. Lokhulumele impi yeMelika Lieutenant Colonel Norman Wilson uthi ngaletakhiwo lempi yakholwa ukuthi titawusita abafundi bakhona kufeza amaphupho abo.
And when the Eswatini Ministry of Education and Training reached out to for support,
nayifika ke iMinistry ye-Education noma betemfundo beta kithi ku-Africom support bacela lusito.
The United States, our embassy and our office answered.
iMelika ke kanye ne-embassy yethu lekhona kaNgwane yaphendvula.
And we were committed to rebuilding what the storm took away from this community. Importantly, to the students of Makhonza Primary School, this building is for you. But you are way more important than this building. While we are proud of what has been constructed here, we hope it serves you well for many years to come. But great facility does not make a great school. Each and every one of the students do. And so do the dedicated teachers who bring the classrooms to life.
Indvuna yelitiko letemfundvo umhlonishwa owenxumalo ithi kusekela lo msebenzi lomuhle weMelika litiko litawakhela isikolo sakumakhonza i-ICT ne-Consumer Science Lab.
Sibonga Ingonyama because ubuholi bengwenyama buyakhombisa lokuthi buholi lobucinile ngokuthi nabo phela abhlobo beAmerica sesithola kusitakala sikhutha libayethe siyabonga okantaba lo sakhela abhlobo nathi quality ihle setakhiwe nawe nje uyatibona letikolo la ngekhathi dihle the workmanship seyajabulisa kakhulu nalama finishings nje asijabulisa kakhulu baphindze bakha nelikhishi lokho ke kuhle kakhulu.
Lomelele lonxusele live leMamelika kuleli Jonathan Mitscavige uthi impi yamamelika inikele imali lelinganiselwa ku-50 million emalangeni kusekela lo msebenzi kwakho kwemaklasi etikolweni letine lapha eveni kanti ba-1500 bafundzile lesebatawukhona kufundza kahle. Ngobika Thando kuhle Mdluli, Makhonza.
Khulumela inhlangano lengamele inhlangano temidlalo kuleli Dumisani Ndiwane uthi luhlelo lwashukuma Eswatini selibe nemthelela lomuhle nalomkhulu njengoba lapho labo labahambe khona babonile ke nakuqala emacembu emidlalo lehlukene. Ndiwane uthi kulempela sonto basaya inkomo yahlaba batawuchubeka bahambisane nato inhlangano lesebasebenta nato kukhombisa ukuthi lo hlelo selikhule kakhulu.
Umthelela washukuma semkhulu kakhulu esiveni seMaswati sibonile nje labesihamba khona kusele kwacala sports clubs, kwacala boxing team, kwacala football teams, kwacala athletics team. So mina ngikakhulu imisebenzi noma ke ngidathi kumbe fruits laphuma kushukuma. Kakhulu sibonga sive seMaswati lese selimukele lelivangeli. Imitimba le shukumako, imitimba lephilako. So sijabula kakhulu nje ngendlela eMaswati lamukele ngaye shukuma ukuthi vele bantu labaphilile bantu labashukumisa imitimba ivangeli liyavakala kakhulu. So sitawuchubeka sihambe tonke tinkundla delive dinengi kakhulu. Atihamba tonke sidimisele lokho sasicalile nje sicalile sitabe sisenkomo yahlaba ngemgcibelo. Shukuma ke sive seMaswati siyade ukuthi yini shukuma soshintshe kakhulu shukuma sotane ama partners damaningi kakhulu akusasiko nje kujima akusasiko nje kudlala temidlalo National Sports Association zethu ataba khona nawo ngetombolo nesive sitawukhumbula phela National Sports Associations la under Eswatini Sport and Recreation Council semaningi kakhulu nawo ke ataba khona lapha ya ashukumisa imitimba and asita abantu abafundzisa ngema sports aw sinema partners damaningi kakhulu ke lengeke ngikhone kwabala ngwacethe emoyeni lafaka ekhathi bo breast and cervical cancer network nabo batobe bakhona bente ama services free of charge esiveni seMaswati. So akusiye nje sive sasenkomo yahlaba kuphela lesisikhathini kade sive sasenkomo yahlaba nemacenselo ukuthi baphume bantu baphume ngetombolo shukuma kakasakhethi kunabo gogo kunabo mkhulu banfana bonke bamukelekile kushukuma lokufaka ekhathi bona abantu bethu labaphila nawo phela disabilities.
Asitaphetha kanjalo zabatethu deswati sitabuka simo selitulu society market test siyabuya sichubeka nehlelo.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
Welcome back. Sorobukela hlelo Kusile Breakfast Show sichubeka nalo lomhla ekseni sinandaba enhlezwane lo TV license coordinator usuka emsakadweni Eswatini TV dokumela ukuthi mavikini lengcilo umsakado ubambisene ke ne-ARS asokumiseka umkhankaso lobitwa ngekuthi no permit no import EP yakho campaign lapho khona ama-retailers kanye nama-individuals sekubheka ukuthi abe ne-permit ukuthi yakhona ukusebenzisa noma ke kungena nema-TV kuma-border. Mr. Zwana sekuvusele lomhla ekseni kusichazela nje vele kabantu ukuthi kahle kahle yini le campaign lena yini EP yakho campaign.
Siyabonga Lungelele. Ngivusele mphinde ngivusele nebabukela emakhaya. Kusho ukuthi le EP yakho campaign la khona kunemshado between Eswatini TV na Eswatini Revenue Services. La bambisene khona ke kubuketa kongenisa kwetimpahla eveni lokumele tibhadale umthelo we-TV license wamabona kuthi. Kusho ukuthi nje kube usukela ke kuwona lo mthetho wami Swaziland Television Authority Act lo 1983 lo shoko ukuthi kumele ngabe lo mshado vele waba khona katheni lo shoko ukuthi kufanele ukuthi customs naye nasingenisa timpahla asibambise kanjani phinde sibe informed sibe notifyeka ukuthi sekunema TVs la sangenile event. So ke lana ke sekutaw produce ke i-permit naso ungenisa leto timpahla.
Okay, ngitiphi kahle kahle le timpahla ngoba kwamanje sathi ukuthi ma TVs ma decoders ingabe vele usivetela kahle usicaciselela kahle nje in fact ukuthi yini kahle kahle lama items.
Asibonga sisi kusho ukuthi ama item like umthetho wethu usho uyaye uchaze lokule le item lengenisa kufanele iyendele timvo leti uthi ikhona kubamba i-broadcasting network noma ke kube ngile vetele sithombe bese kuvetela sithombe noma ke leti bambisa ukuthi ukhona ukuthola lesithombe lethu ama accessories lokufaka ubusigojana ufake nama set of boxes but ke currently vele Eswatini TV ngoba sesiyadi ukuthi nyalo i-technology ya improve asemaningi lama gadgets la sakhula la veni la kwendawo lokho.
Ngiyala shothi singagatha ukuthi ngakhamba kwesikhathi dincingo ma tablets laptops.
Exactly, so
as long as naso amendiwe lo mthetho.
Naso ubuketa lo mthetho akuthi kunalo ukuthi kahle kahle ngabe amendo ngicabanga singasiyasukuma siyashakutela kepha kepha sengiyaswathile TV bangathi bayabukela emakhaya vele sivakathe kule TV nje lebukelwa ekhaya kanye nalama set of boxes la.
Okay. So le mthetho lomusha lona lo usebenza nje ucala kusebenza nje Mr. Zwane nibuke kakhulu ukuthi nitaw enforce kuma retailers noma everyone nje lo tatkanza thenga i-TV even individual nje lo fire khathi nami nitawubheka ukuthi ngibe nayo le permit utawusebenza kanjani.
Siyabonga sisimbuto lomuhle lo kakhulu kusho ukuthi mase utawusebenza ngoba kahle ucontrola wonke nje ama gadgets la ngena la veni lokusho ukuthi ufaka wonke umuvu kepha ke uma nje ungumuvu lo nguwe wedwana nje sithi uhamba sisilungelelo uyaphuma ngaphandle maybe yasebenza noma wenda in so ubuka kuyayithanza lo igadget ucabanga ungabeya naye ekhaya ngakusida noma ngakubambisa so uyabuya nayo uyakhona ukuthi ungabuya nayo eboda abatabi sebakubambisa ukuthi uyingenisa kanjani laba baka ARS nokuthi bakhona ukuyirecorda ke bayiregister ukuthi yakho kepha ke xa ufuna bese uyayibhadala vele le license na ungenako ngoba lo mthetho vele uthi le yonke le i-gadget le la veni ufanele ibhadale license fanele ibe seyinayo naseyingena la veni usho njalo umthetho sifanele nje bese inayo naseyila khathe veni ibe nale license losho usutawe uyavumeleka ukuthi ungangena nayo but as an individual nje ngeminyaka ukhathazela ukuthi ungangenisa abe mabili kuphela ema-gadgets.
Nasengithi ngangeta kude indlela ukuthi ngangeta.
Usho ukuthi lapho nasi sikubuka ngoba phela la khaya yathengiswa akhona.
Senda ngadvise ukuthi sele ngibuka la khaya.
So uadvise kunje so ngabuka la khaya vele ukuthi kube malula for umuvu lo ngenisa. So la ma retailers ke wona vele kutawufunakala ukuthi wona ke apply letingaphane tiye kuyocupha tikhona lokungenisa. Tiphinde tibengele tabe tirejistile na Eswatini TV ukuthi basebenza kanjani nge-TV ukuyingenisa even uze bakhona ukuthola le permit.
Alright, siselapho nje Mr. Zwane sivetele vele le process lokuthi vele bosomabhizinisi noma ke lama retailers apply kanjani, should they apply prior before purchasing lama TVs noma ke lama items noma bafika bakwenda konke ebhoda, what's the whole process nje and how long does it take?
Okay, siyabonga sisi kusho ukuthi kuloku like sengishito lokucala sisi ukuthi kufunakala ukuthi na usebenza noma uyathengisa iTV noma usebenza kuyilungisa ube so registered na Eswatini TV sekakwadi ukuthi wena vele ungenkampani lisebenza ngetimvo tabo TV bese ke so yakhona ke lapho ke ku-applyela le import permit naso applyela le import permit lapho you will get the form le full litabe sinalo online and then ukhona ukulisenda to us sing Eswatini TV lama yakhona la ku guide khona lama processes lapha ku website yethu ukuthi utaw apply kanjani bese ulifaka kanjani zilifike kithi ngembane then sesiyakhona ukulithatha nase silithethe lapho sesiya kunale screening process ke ukuthi sesiyalibuka ke siyalibuketa singeSwatini TV vele kahle kahle impepha takho ukuthi the business so uyendile la ven job esisakwamukela nathi ukuthi uyayi ungathengisa iTV siyakhona ke ukuverify lokho nase kuverify lokho phinde sichubeke sibuke ukuthi uya comply nangalomthetho naphambilini nakusuka emva bosolo comply kahle nangalomthetho wethu wokusebenza weTV wa Eswatini TV and then from there ngilapho la bese sesitawube sesitshela khona ama fees akho nasesibona ukuthi you do qualify sesiyabona ukuthi ama fees akho longawubhadala le permit yakho angaka so uyabhadala naso ubhadeleke sesigenerator le permit yakho sesiyakufinisha with that permit yakho then from there ke tabe sethina esing TV license office ngeSwatini TV kule TV license office sesiyakhona ukuthi sikufakele lamakota akho shothi leti nombolo tale permit ivumele singangenisa linani lelingaka lalama gadgets iseseyifaka ke ku asekhuda so ta ukhona ke sinaso ubuya so ya declare business person so yakhona ngenza timpahla ekhaya.
Okay, so le permit iba yesikhathi esinganani and also lelinani lema retailers obviously litawuhluka kuna individual yena lo ngenisa 2 ngeminyaka. Ama retailers kona angenisa ngakhi ngiyabekisa ngenyanga ngeminyaka uthi nomthetho wokuloko.
Kusho ukuthi kule import permit yona ingasho siyona inesikhathi sa 12 nyanga. Lokusho ukuthi yona nje ibuke ukuthi ingaba netinyanga leti 12 and then itabe lapho ivalid ukuthi wena ungangenisa le shows iphila ukuthi ungakhona ungenisa letimpahla lotifisini but ngalo apply kwakho le import permit uvele ulisho lelinani lotabe ulingenisa ukuthi nabe kunama decoder ang50 kunema TV noma ang300 noma ang400 noma 500 isakata ungena lapha kule permit bese sekangena lapha kule asikula system kule kota ukuthi le kota lesikufakela yona ukuthi ungangenisa ke manje lonka utabe sekena ukhona ubuya so ya declare inombolo takho longidingenisako la khathe 11 ingalo ukuthi the permit vele kuvumela ukuthi ungangenisa lelinani lelinga but inayo kufuna ukuthi kule period yalo 12 months ube so isebenzisile ngoba itawube sesiyalapha kwaphela lo 12 months.
Lokusho ukuthi nangabe ngibekise ngibhalise ukuthi ngidawungenisa 50 walama items sekuyendeka mhlambe sikuba netinkinga sengidinga ukungeda more TVs lokusho ukuthi ngeke ngize ngikhona because the permit yami ithi 50.
Cha kusho ukuthi kuloko sisi uyakhona phindze naso ungenisile lo 50 ngoba noma ungabuya nayo once iyaphela le permit leyo sivele seyisebenzile seyiphelile so you can go the process again and apply for another import permit kuthi ukhona ngenisa futhi letinye timpahla.
Okay. All right, so umbuto lomkhulu nje Msazwane, why was this campaign needed now? Kuyengani ukuthi Eswatini TV abambisana neYaris ukuthi kwakhiwe lomthethofulelo lomusha lokuthi vele kuthengeka la permit?
Hayi siyabonga umbuto lomuhle lo. Kusho ukuthi nale like ngicabanga sekuqaleni ngichazile ngathi le EP yakho project itawufike ilevel le playing field yalama retailers njengoba asho na CEO kule ya previous interview lobonayo naye ukuthi lama retailers nawo besanato letikhalo tekokuthi mina ngalana ngiyawubutha umthelo but nangiyaza ukuthi akawubusi lo mthelo yena. So ke simine sengiyafa ibhizinisi ngoba bamse bafika la kimi bese bayabaleka bayothenga ngale kuzawethu ngoba yena akawuthathi lo mthelo we-TV license. So kwabe sekuyabonakala ukuthi nasisiwubuketa lo mthetho sakhanza ukuthi vele lo mthetho wawuvela usinikile lamandla ukuthi singasebenzisana na-ARS. So lo sesubusukumisa ke manje lobudlelwane bebe vele lo mthetho kwakadzeni buvele kukhona ukuthi vele kufanele ukuthi sisebenzisane na-ARS lokungeniswa kwaleti impahla sikubuke sikuregulate isimpahla etingena kahle yini.
Right. Ingabe nangitaw purchase i-TV online noma kusebenzisa ama-courier services uthini kulomthetho lapho ke?
Kulama courier services siyabonga lapho sisho ukuthi ngoba i-courier nayo angisina uthenga nje online isuke leti impahla itavele ukuthi le mpahla leyo iyathi ukuthi onwa ngubani nase i-declare nayo ifika i-declare e-border itawufike i-declare ukuthi le mpahla leyo iyalungelele amakhakhula noma yandaba enhlezwane bese ke seyiyakhona ukuthi le declaration indlule as an individual ukuthi lena i-item yandaba enhlezwane. But if atwalele inkampani nakhona ngoba kuyendeka ikhulu ilayishe leti inkampani le nkampani itafuna sivele le permit ibe nayo ngokuthi lena i-permit yesitolo lesithide lesithengisa impahla TV nayo i-permit yakhona batawudeclare kiyo leyo permit le bese bakhona tingenisa.
Yeah, malokho sibabula abaningi nje misazwane vele ukhanza ukuthi ababukeli ma-TVs abafunza amaphepha kude nje abekhona online presence yabo asiyibone kutawendeka bathi khanza basenkingeni ngalo mhla ka1 or after mhla ka1 eborder bangena nama-goods bangena nama-items abayajikisa basakhona ingena. Engabe nibuke ukuthi nitahambisa kanjani le information, you know, speak to retailers kukhona yini mhlambe ama-workshops lena wahlelile as ESTVA na-ARS kuzama nje, you know, to spread the information ukuthi bantu bagcina badile bayadile campaign.
Siyabonga kusho ukuthi ivele le campaign leli hlelo levele lihlelekile le advocates ukuthi kufunakala ukuthi sihambe sibe nako kuwa engage onke nama retailers especially ama retailers ngoba vele asebenza kakhulu wona ngale TV wona affecteka directly and nawo ke ma individuals le ema border nawo ngilamayela affecteka kakhulu siwacabangele ukuthi tinhlelo titawucala njengoba sicalile nje nanyalo sihambisa le information khona inhlelo etaba khona eredweni ka EBIS letitawufundzisa sive ukuthi kutabe kusebenzeka kanjani lesishintsho letabe likhona eborder ukuthi na uma uyothenga utawufika wende kanjani nalaba ke ma retailers nawo nje ama workshops efisavele ahleliwe seka ima notifications kwatshela ukuthi sitabe sikuphi nini akuleyo ndzawo sekavele sekathunyelwe bonke sebawatholile lokusho ukuthi nje mhla ka16 June kulenyanga lesetulu sitabe sesipiki eGobolondlo Hall ayisho nje onke le workshops ethu batawucala nga9 ekseni aphele nga12 emini cha sitabe sesikhonile lapho ukucoverisha konke bese ke mhla ka17 June sisembabane e-library mhla ka18 June sikamanzini Town Council Hall mhla ka19 June sisesteki Town Council Hall bese 22 June sisenhlangano RO Hall shothi ngilapho la sitabe sifundisa khona onke ama retailers ethu abute nemibuto lefanele ngoba kumcwalo afike ngoba nawo lokufika kwawo kutasisita sisilungelele ukuthi nawo khona ukuthi abe ne-input ngokuthi kuleli shintsho leli sicela ukuthi sibabambiseke kanjani ukuze bakhona ukusebenza nabo ngendlela lengiyo ngoba sitobambisana nabo asikhethi ukuthi sitofushana nabo noma sitoshayisana nabo ngekusebenza kwabo.
Ingabe nje nasibuka i-level of compliance vele yakubhadalwa kwe-TV license kumephi nje misazwane ukuthi ingabe le projects lena nje le campaign lena lenichuba kona ERS itawusida ngokuthi vele inyuse lezinga lokubhadalwa kwe-TV license.
Sibuka ukuthi silapho itawusida kakhulu ekutheni iphakamise ukubhadala kwe-TV license. Kwekucala vele nje sesikubuka sibuka ukuthi ema-retailers bekungiwo lokufanele ukuthi kufuna ukuthi ucale ngalapho ngoba ngulala kungilomnyango la kungena khona to onke lamagatsha esilungumele abhadale bese ayale emakhaya. So nangabe sesinama-retailer laba ngasasibambisi ingcumbi yawo sokuhanza kusila amanye ingcumbi lamagatsha sekayindlula lamaningi sisayale emakhaya la kubita bese sekufuna phinde sicalele phasi lebo inspection khona so afuna ukuthi angakuphi lamagatsha. So wonda ukuthi Eswatini TV umuntu bese sisakhona ukumkhumbuta ukuthi phela i-TV yakho seyakonetha sekumele ngabe seyivusetela umthelo we-TV license ngoba angeke sibe nawe kule database ngoba wena yakho seyindlulela sangasakhona kuyibona. So leli hlelo leli ke sisilitawenda ukuthi sikhone kulandzelela bonke lamagatsha silangenako nokuthi sekaya ngakuphi so that sitokhona ukukhumbuta wonke umuntu losekhaya lotibukelela i-TV yakhe ukuthi asinakabukela be-artist yonke i-TV yakhe iwubhadele umthelo we-TV license. Angeke ahlupheke nje sokuthi awungcokothele umnyango simngcokothele sithi awukabhadalwe nathi kanze angila compliant kahle.
Yeah. So nasibuka nje mhlambe ema-inspections ngoba siyanathi ukuthi nalapho nefasile ngiqinisile Mr. niyaphuma niyangena etitolo nechecka yona level of compliance nakhona emakhaya niyahlolwa ukuthi siya comply yini vele sikuphi nalapho because kusasena abantu abathi bona abayathi nale TV license ukuthi yini abathi nethi kumele ibhadalo i-TV license ingabe nani saphuma ngena nje nitfolani kula ma-inspections.
Wala mbuto lo kahle lo sisike bhayi ikona sithola into ezihlukahlukene nasaphuma sisangena nje emakhaya sifuna ukuthi imithelo bamvu ba compliant non gadgets. A number of people vele baye basho ukuthi thina sisenga asiyati TV lomnyathi mina ngayibhadala uyathi wagcina lesitolo nayaphumako abengathi kumele ivusetelwe ngaso sonke isikhathi. Kepha isingeswathi TV bese sithathana ihlelo lokusinjalo ama SMSs la sikhumbuto siyawasenda log database uyayibe uyayithola iSMS yakhe ukuthi imkhumbude ukuthi umthelo wakho so undlulele isikhathi sefanele ukuthi ubhadale. But ke vele siyakuthola nalo sinathi kufuna sithathe letinyathelo ukuthi sifundise kahle lesive ukuthi sigcine ungena kahle nomletho we-TV license but siyethemba ukuthi vele sotanga improve kancane siqalile indzawo letihlukahlukene bese kubo Big Band recently so sebafunza ngakhona ukuthi bacela bafundise kahle angekuthola lelwadi ukuthi umthelo we-TV license usebenza kanjani.
Yeah, nisababopha yini mhlambe masamane sabakuthumelela because ngakhumbula atheni ukuthi yeah nangiqiniseka kakhulu mina ngisebenza kakhulu ukuthi ekhanda vele ningabayekeli ngabe kusendeka indoko.
Yes siyabonga kona lelo iphathi le singeswathi TV lesingayithandi yathi umphathi akusiyo iphathi la kayithanda kakhulu ngoba ibese seyenda ngaze silwa nalesiva but ke ngalo sikwamele ukuthi kwende kusho lo mthetho ukuthi sichubeke sibe nokuthi umlasa uphulele umthetho sewethatha inyathelo de usayidingando kona vele kanjalo sisachubeka nato sigcine nje kulesibili lwalelivikileli kusukela ngalesihlanu besibhizi ingandolo nje abantu bangenele bebseba lebe ba defaultile bangabhadali isesibafake ingandolo ke singethi baba baningi kakhulu bacala ukungena ngeFriday bacala ukungena ngalesine nangalesihlanu nangimsombuluko ngalesibili wangichaza isicetha ke kusebenza lenzabe kubabopha ke bhake lokubopha vele siyachubeka sabopha ba kusho lo mthetho uthi usuke sokuphulile umthetho vele ufanele ukuthi usale uye uboshwe uye enkantolo nakhona bese babhlungu kuphinze kube nemafine etinkantolo kanzi lapho sokukhulelwa kwenetu umbukele ekhaya lokungasiko kahle so ngaba advise nje babukele emakhaya kuze sicela ukuthi wonke umuntu ikhandle nge-TV license yakhe abuke ukuthi ume kahle yini ngazi nasekufika umva bese cancel kwenet setibatening.
Yeah. Kucacisa nje Msazwane lokuthi vele kahle kahle sibhadalani. Sibhadalelani i-TV license na ungakhotha nje umthetho because vele solikhona lemibuto. Sibhadalela ine TV certain TV asibukeli basifunani laba nyalo sibasifuna ama permits, you know, yawathi ama comments aka social media ukuthi vele ngiloyo nje yathi ukhulumele. Kusichazela vele lokuthi lo mthetho uthini.
Siyabonga sisho vele sekufuna sesike sithole nesikhathi ukuthi ube walomthetho nje ngalelo la sikhulumise wona kuphela. Kusho lo mthetho vele siyakingishito nje lasicala ukuthi uyayikhotha lokuthi le network kufanele le gadget ibe ngile kanjani le yenda ini lengakhona ukuthi nga receive i-broadcasting network lengakhona ukuthi nga broadcaster nesithombe ukuthi umbukeli abukele ekhaya. Kusho ukuthi leyo gadget ngiyona lebese seyibhadala lo mthetho. Akusiko ukuthi uyasubscribe noma yini kunemehluko ukuthi usubscriber ditesh nekokuthi uthelela umthelo we TV license. So bayibukeli vele emakhaya ukhanzithi lokuningi kwaloko kusabashaya. Ngiyaye ngibekise ukuthi sisikufana nemoto. Imoto ihamba emgwaqweni but imoto inayo ithela before ihambe emgwaqweni. Lokho ukuthi nje awusebenzisa lo mgwaqo kwamele kufanele ukuthi ithele. Whether seyimile ekhaya noma ingaphakathi 2 years yakho ekhaya but itawuthela. Nomnyaka lo ufuna uthelele ukuthi beyisolo ikhona ingawusebenzisa lo mgwaqo noma ngabe kunini. Lokho sine TV nakhona kukanjalo. Uthelela lokuthi yona ingayisebenzisa le network. Whether wena sowubukela lokunye lokwehlukehlukene hayi kokuthi ngeSwatini TV kuphela na usukubukela yena. Nangabe nje ungabukela ungasebenzisa le network ubukela iTV yakho usho ukuthi kufanele ukuthi uyithelele.
And also kunama penalties. Kunama penalties and niyabathola Msazwane bamfula basolo baqonisa batawubhaca niyabathola. Isichazele nje ngama penalties ukuthi vele bafana imali enganani.
Qinisile sisi ukuthi sigcine sibathola njalo bese setinkantolo nje. Ingcumbi yavela sosetinkantolo sovele sekunema penalties neminyaka lemingathi semininganyana. Shothi umbukelo ufuna nje aqale akwadi ukuthi uma wecisa umnyaka le TV license yakho mabe nje bokuna le TV asesingale TV kuphela lo 180 itabe seyiba ne penalty wa 50% which is 90 imali saying 270. Lokho sisho lo mnyaka lo sowecile wena bese kufanele salubhadala 270 hayi lo 180 ngoba sekungedeke na ipenalty. But ke sesiyema lesikwenethi na ungena kulomnyaka lotako sakhala omnye 270 mawungena lomnyaka lotako sakhala omnye 270 shows accumulate kanjalo ke lama penalties agcine naso wecele iminyaka seyiminingi sesisina sesifika sesikukhanza iminyaka yakho so una 5 iminyaka sesibala lo 5 iminyaka kusuka lemuva sekudangala lokubese sekwenda sekenyukela sekuba likhulu ukuthi sekubhadaleka kanjani ke emveni sokucala kuva ngazi ukuthi hayi sesisuyanyathele. So ilapho lenkinga ukuthi babukele kufanele sibakwadi ukuthi ibese seyiyakhula le penalty kancane kancane bese seyigcine nabo seyiyanga ukuhlala ukuthi ihlala enzanyeni usasekulikhulu ukuyibhadala. Izigcine sekukhanza sisigcine sokucathulula leti nkantolo. Naleti nkantolo ke kunema fine akhona abakukhulumisa mahhala. Asikhulumisana mahhala nabo babeke ama fine ukuthi ngoba futhi ukhanza nelicala nayi fine umthetho uyasho ukuthi ufuna ababhadale ama fine angana la ngeta lesikwenethi uphinza ubhadale lesikwenethi sa lo mthelo we TV.
Okay. Yeah, before ngokhulule nje Msazwane usikhumbuta again the process yokuthola i-permit nokuthi thatha kumele apply le nini how many hours before nokuthi is it costly malini nabe tikhona imali ma documents lathengekile from my retailers kanye nama individuals sichazele nje konke lokho lokuthengekile. Yeah.
Siyabonga sisho sangicela nje ngichaze ngalama retailers lokuthi kufanele ukuthi ku-apply kwakho u-apply ngoba thina singeSwatini TV sitibekele vele isaye ukuthi sina 48 hours ufuna sibe sicithe yonke le process lebese ngiyibalile lokusho ukuthi wena ufuna uapply before lo 48 hours noma 48 hours before uphume utokhona ukuthi uhambe ipermit yakho soyiphethe na udeclare sobe nempahla yakho ideclaration yakho itokuphangisela ungadikhanzi so delay sokufuna apply useta so uyema futhi lenye la sekubangathi sesiyabambelela kanti sifuna ukuthi kube kulusebenza ukuthi kube malula uma wenda lokho so kusho ukuthi nje kufuna ukuthi udownload uform lakho uligcwalise ulisende kithi 48 hours before uye kuyothenga si-advisor lokho so that utohamba yonke into yakho seyikahle ukukhona ukubuya so udeclare kahle so uma ke sikhuluma ngemuntu nje lo sithambile edvane sisitena nakayithenga angakhona ukuthi nabe so ukhona la ithanzile angayithenga abuye anayo utafuye bamendele eborder ngicabanga ukuthi laba ka-ARS ngiwo labanga elaborate better ukuthi how are they going to handle lokhu ngale nasebangenisa sebabuyisa ngala kule individual but nje nayo itawufika ibhadalele koshana le border utawukhona lo kungenisa kepha nje ngeminyaka kufuna kwende sure ukuthi eta uvumeleke ukuthi ungeta namabili ungenisa amabili
alright sibakhulu sisikhathi sakho Mr Zwane 1st July uyaqala ke lo mthetho naku enforcewa emabhodi akuleli nje besavedile Mr Zwane ukuthi ema retailers bona kumele ukuthi apply 48 hours before angene ku website yaka Eswatini TV ya download le form agcwalise aphinde alithumele back ku Eswatini TV ukuthi atawukhona ukuthola le permit le last only 12 months siyethemba ukuthi lokho ke kuta nitasibambisa sive singumsakazo eSwatini TV kude sitakhona ukusebenzisana sikhathi kanti sesibhadala ama fines nema penalties la ngathi ngeke so sithi nje pay your TV license njengoba kuyinfo lekumele uyendele ukulandzela wona umthetho seselikhefu sabe ngasinyana.
Attention retailers, importers, clearing agents and customs brokers. All television sets and decoders entering the Kingdom of Eswatini now require mandatory ESTVA authorization before customs clearance. No clearance without valid ESTVA import permit. Don't risk delays at the border. Submit your application 24 to 48 hours before your shipment arrives. We process complete applications in just 1 to 2 working days. Our QR-coded permits make the verification quick and easy. Always double-check your HS codes and quantities for smooth compliance. The process is simple. Step 1. Submit your completed application form. Annex A with product line items for TVs, decoders, and commercial invoice. Step 2. Eswatini TV reviews and approves. Step 3. Make payment and complete verification. Step 4. Receive your permit. Step 5. Clear customs smoothly at the border. Make sure you have all your required documents, a completed application form, Annex A detailing your product line items, commercial invoice, valid TV retailer license, and letter of authority if applicable. Our permits feature QR codes for easy border verification. For assistance, email us at license@swatinitv.co.sz or call our help desk. Apply before your shipment arrives. Ensure compliance and avoid delays. Remember, all TV sets and decoders entering the Kingdom of Eswatini must have a valid ESTVA import permit. Thank you. Act now.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
Sotla mahle sita uphinze sibuke nathi indzaba tethu teSwati silo semhlaba sithi live leSwatini kunengi lelitawukuzuza eveni le-United Arab Emirates ngoba lela live selihambe umgamu kudentfutfuko yemukela tincwadzi tebunxusa kulusiba lomusha wakulela live ingwenyama ithene sivumelwano lesisha semavisa lesikhona emkhatsini kwalamave lamabili sibhekeke ukuthi-ke sibe nemthelela lomuhle kubantfu balamave. Impube emhlaba yemukelele tincwadzi tebunxusa esigodlweni kalozitha.
Live le-United Arab Emirates selithumela usiba Menso Mohammed Al-Juwaid ukuthi atawunxusela lela live kuleli leSwatini. Lolu siba ufike esigodlweni kalozitha kutakwethula tincwadzi takhe tebunxusa kiso silo semhlaba. LeSwatini linebuhlobo lebuneminyaka leminingi babakhona nalela live lesebunemthelela lebekhona lebonakalako. Akusiwo malanga mangakhi ingwenyama yemaswati beyiseveni le-United Arab Emirates lapho khona beyiyawucinisa buhlobo emkhathini kwalela live neleswatini lekube nemthelela bekungeteka kwetivumelwano tekubambisana ekhathi kwalamave lamabili njengoba emalangeni lendlulile kusayinwe isivumelwano semavisa. Ethulela ingwenyama tincwadzi takhe tebunxusa usibe Menso Mohammed Al-Juwaid unikete isiqiniseko sekukhulisa kubambisana etinhlangothini letehlukene kute kuzuze lamave nebantfu bawo.
Your Majesty, the United Arab Emirates attaches a great importance to its friendship and cooperation with the Kingdom of Eswatini, and I'm particularly encouraged by the recent signing in Abu Dhabi, the Memorandum of Understanding of Visa Exemption for the holders of diplomatic and service passport, which marks an important milestone and reflects the growing partnership between the two countries. I will dedicate my effort to enhance our bilateral relationship.
Siyamukela letincwadzi tebunxusa silo semhlaba sithe njengoba live le-United Arab Emirates selivele lithuthukile lingakhona kushela nalugwayi neleswatini kulolu hlangothi lapho khona ingwenyama ibe seyaveta nokuthi sivumelwano semavisa lesikhona ekhathi kwalamave lamabili sesitawukwenda ukuthi kube lula kuphuma nekungena kwabantfu balamave lamabili kulamave.
The agreement reached when I paid a visit to your beautiful country, where I was well received by the government, and we had a lot of discussions, especially as to how the two countries can cooperate in many areas. The signing of the agreement of visas waiver will allow, of course, our citizens to exchange a lot of visit one another, and in particular when business people want to go and do a lot of business, it's easier when you can easily access a country and so on. So we are looking forward that there will be a lot of opportunities which we're going to see as a result of this agreement.
Imbube yemhlaba ibe seyethembisa usiba ukuthi live leSwatini litawumsekela limnike lonke usizo elalidingako. Edinsabeni kubika Pholile Mazia anathabiso Dlamini esigodlweni kaLozitha.
Anzike ngakulokunye ingonyama seyimeme bosomabhizinisi belive le-Swiss Federation ukuthi bethe kutawubuka ematfuba ebhizinisi kuleli leSwatini. Silo semhlaba besiphefumula esigodlweni kaLozitha ngesikhathi semukela tincwadzi tebunxusa kulonxuselele live le-Swiss Federation kuleli.
Live le-Swiss Federation Switzerland lithumele umhlonishwa America Manzoni ukuthi atawunxusela lela live kuleli. Usiba ufike esigodlweni kaLozitha kutakwethula tincwadzi takhe tebunxusa. ISwitzerland isekele live leSwatini etinhlelweni tetentuthuko ngetivumelwano letikhona ekhathi kwalamave letibe nemthelela wekundlondlobalisa budlelwane balamave lamabili. Eminyakeni leminingi lengcile ibe miningi kakhulu imisebenzi yetentuthuko lesekelwe yiSwitzerland kuleli. Ethulela ingwenyama tincwadzi takhe tebunxusa usiba welive leSwitzerland uvete sithingo sekukhulisa kubambisana kutekuthengiselana ekhathi kwalela live neleSwatini nesifundza lesisendasi nelivekati le-Afrika.
Your Majesty, Switzerland has been a partner of the Kingdom of Eswatini sustained development through continued cooperation which strengthen our friendly relation. In the past years, Switzerland supported projects to fight gender-based violence and to promote vocational education. In economic terms, our relation bears some potential. Your beautiful country has a great opportunity for Swiss tourists whose numbers are growing in Southern Africa. I'm convinced that your beautiful country will find its way on the travel plans of my compatriots.
Siyamukelwa letincwadzi tebunxusa silo semhlaba sesimeme batshaltimali belive leSwitzerland ukuthi bete kutawubuka ematfuba ebhizinisi kuleli leSwatini.
Our two countries come many years ago as partners working closely together. In all these 58 years of partnership, it has been a very much worthwhile partnership. We have really appreciated the support and all the support which we receive from your country, and as well as the experience. Of course, we also aware that Switzerland is one of the highly developed countries amongst countries of the world, and we are still, as a developing country, still in the process of making our own country a much more developed country. And to this regard, we count on your expertise and experience as to how you have managed to develop your own social welfare to the highest, because when one looks at your own GDP, it's one of the GDPs that could be admired by many all over the world.
Lamave lamabili angemalunga etinhlangano temave temhlaba letifaka ekhatsi inhlangano yakamhlaba yetekuthengiselana yakamhlaba yetemphilo yakamhlaba netinhlangano tetimali letifaka ekhatsi i-IMF ne-World Bank. Edinsabeni kubika Pholile Mazia anathabiso Dlamini esigodlweni kaLozitha.
Silo semhlaba sesibongele mengameli welive leZimbabwe His Excellency Emmerson Mnangagwa ngekuthi live le-Republic of Zimbabwe likhethwe lingene ebandleni lelibuketa indzaba tekuphepha enhlanganweni yakamhlaba United Nations Security Council eminyakeni wa-2027-2028. Lokhu kuvakele ngelizinyane umbane Kusile Ndani lokulela live ngesikhathi yakhulumisana netinsatheli italo lela live.
We were sent by His Majesty the King Mswati III from the Kingdom of Eswatini to come and pay a courtesy call and pay his respects to his dear brother, His Excellency the President, where we came here to first to congratulate His Excellency on the milestone, of the Zimbabwe, what they've achieved thus far, being nominated and elected to represent the continent in the UN Security Council seat 2027-2028. And His Majesty congratulates his dear brother on that, and he knows that the president is very capable to handle that situation very carefully. And also, to look at ways and how we can strengthen the cooperation and relations between the two countries, Eswatini and Zimbabwe. We've discussed quite a few at large, agriculture, foreign relations, how we can do trade as well, what we can do to increase participation between Eswatini and Zimbabwe. I also acknowledged and thanked His Excellency and commended him for the development which we're seeing here in Zimbabwe. It is unmatched. This is what we want for Africa. And seeing such development here in Zimbabwe, every time we come here, we see new things coming up, the road network systems, new ones, the lifestyles of Zimbabweans, the way in which this country is being run. It's very well. And we are here, to learn and all of that. And that is why His Majesty the King sent us to come here to visit his brother and see how we can share those experiences together. So thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yes.
Kutemdlalo sikolo lesiphakeme inhlangano Central sengisobo champagne bemqhudelwano weshiselweni Insta Cash Schools Soccer Tournament. Lokhu ke kulandzela ukuthi bashaye iEzindwendweni High School ngemagoli lamabili kulinye emidlalweni lo dlalelwe enkhundleni yase King Sopuza II Memorial enhlangano. Asitephethe lapho nzabatethu tesiswati tesibili siyitawo bahlola imakethe sidabuya sixoxisane neBotho University.
To all the viewers of Eswatini TV in the kingdom and beyond. Eswatini TV is regulated by the Eswatini Communications Commission through the Broadcasting Code and Broadcasting Guidelines. Under these instruments, the station commits to broadcasting information and news that have been fact-checked, programs and content in respectful language with no elements of hate speech, violence or sexual activity. If you hear any unsuitable content on this channel, you have a right to voice your complaints with the station management. Should you not be satisfied with the response or action taken, you can escalate your matter to the Communications Commission at PO Box 7811 Babani. Call 2406 7000 or send an email to info@esccom.org.za. For more information, visit www.esccom.org.za.
All right, welcome back to the program. You're still watching Kusile Breakfast Show. We have Boto University in studio now in the presence of Cindy Mota, the assistant manager, as well as Fezile Ngampalala on the furthest of my left there, who is the Students and Alumni Affairs Officer. And we want to discuss their Students Exchange Program. Again, just for your benefit on the visuals, this is Cindy Mota on my left, my immediate left, and on my furthest is Fezile Ngampalala, the Students Alumni Affairs Officer. And we really just want to understand their Students Exchange Program, because they pride themselves in saying that their education extends beyond the halls as well as textbooks, and they have made education much easier and accessible for their students. Let's get into the conversation. A very good morning to the both of you and welcome to the program. Indeed, maybe let me start with you, Cindy. How does Boto University support students beyond just the academics?
A very good morning to you, Mr. Sfiso. Very good morning to Eswatini out there. Thank you for having us today as Boto University. Last month we were here. You had us again, and today we are back with some excitement news where our student as Boto University, since we have this student exchange program where our students do exchange in terms of our campuses. So we have also our students as well from Eswatini who are going to another campus which is outside Eswatini, and they have earned it. So when it comes to the student support that Boto University give to students, it includes, like, beyond academics, it includes, we have got the program which it's called a Boto Graduate Profile, where students, they learn, or they are they are required to learn some certain skills which, before they graduate, which they will need in the industry world or in the work or future world of work out there. We've got debate, where students are also exposed in such a debate. Like last week we had our debate against MCO, where the best debater was awarded to Boto University.
Wow, that's good.
And also the best what?
Public speaker.
The best public speaker also was a student from Boto University. And we also have counseling. We do also have the student exchange, which today we are about. We also have employability fair, where we invite some employers out there to come to the university and share the insight of what is expected of these products of ours into their workplaces.
Right.
And then also we do have the community engagement, where we actually teaches the students to go and do some volunteer work, where they will contribute to the community. And also we provide career guidance, we provide the internship opportunities for students to enhance their career readiness, and also we also organize their healthy wellness and awareness programs to promote physical and mental well-being.
I think that's very important, because physical and mental well-being is very essential, especially for a student, because they always need to be as vital as they can possibly be. I mean, coming to you, Fezile, how do you really, as Boto University, address social well-being, social welfare, as well as personal development for your students?
Okay, for wellness for our students, we provide counseling, both psychotherapy and academic counseling, where we encourage our students that whenever they feel overwhelmed, whenever they are stressed, they are always welcome to come to our office, so we can offer counseling both psychosocially and academically. And we also organize and coordinate wellness programs, where we invite organizations to come to the university to give HIV counseling and testing. We also have Wellness Day. We also have Cancer Awareness Day, Mental Wellness Day, where we invite the organization to come and address mental wellness issues to the students. We understand what we want the student to learn, but we also care for the mental wellness of the students.
Yeah, it's quite broad. It's very broad. Coming back to you, Cindy, let's talk about the student exchange program now and its objectives.
Okay, thank you once again. Okay, this program or this student exchange programs is designed to enhance students' academic, their personal and professional development through exposure in our different campuses, and also it allows them to experience diverse culture, because like you understand, as they are going to another country, they will learn their culture, how things are done in their in that country, in line with what we do. So they will also learn some other ways of doing things, or the cultures in other different countries, their tradition, their way of what do we call this? Their way of collaboration as students, because we want them to to have that exposure. Because like we said in our the very same asibafundzisi nje ukuthi babe in our own country. We teach them ukuthi babe globally
to assimilate with other cultures and lifestyles, and that helps broaden their minds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's very beautiful. Let's come back to you as we close and get into the criteria, because now I can see the students at home, they're excited, they want to be a part of this. What criteria do you guys use?
Okay, once we have the opportunity for student exchange, we advertise the opportunity to the students, and those students that are interested to partake in the student exchange, they apply. And then the criteria is that the student needs to have a CPGA of 3 and above, and strong academic performance in other previous semesters. And also the students has to have good disciplinary records, so that we can be confident enough to say the students will represent us to the other country very well.
Yeah, it's very important. Listen, we do have 2 of their students that are in studio that are waiting to join us here on this very same table. They will occupy the very same seats that you guys are occupying. We'll just get into their sense of experience. We have Danzile Matsenjwa and Wamugelwe Shongwe coming right up after the break.
Ngiyeme inkosi nyana. Khosapsi bakho Dlambule.
Hey,
kudawudzingeka.
Ungathi imphendulo ikhona la. Kulamandi.
Bakhetha kungemuka inkosazana yami. Umtsabula ndlamu wami, nawe uyavuma abancane yalokho.
Gadla Itsibe
Amaswati lokhu ala inyimpi ndabanyika bahlupheka kakhulu baphilisa kwetinqwayeya nganangizwile vumelanani usale kuhlangana kutokhona ukuthi kubhekane nanasi yesikhwama.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
All right, continuing with our conversation with Boto University, premised on their student exchange program. We have the students themselves now in Tanzile Matsenjwa. I'll show you once again on screen. I have Tanzile Matsenjwa on my immediate right, and that's Wamgelwe Shongwe on my furthest right. And of course, they will be telling us about how they felt when they learned that they've been chosen to be part of this student exchange program. Tanzile, I understand you do health information and management system, and Wamgelwe, you do network security and computer forensics. Just how did you feel when you learned that you were selected to be part of this exchange program?
Oh, thank you. I was very excited to receive the news, and it's always been something I always wanted, to become an international student. But I must say that there were mixed feelings as well, because I knew that this was going to cost me a lot going forward. Yeah.
And what about you?
I was in disbelief. This is something I wanted for myself, and I was in disbelief when it happened. It was Mem Cindy who called and broke the news to me, and I remember asking her that, is this true? And she said it does not concern her whether I believe or do not believe. What she knows is Botswana is calling my name. It was just an amazing moment.
It's a beautiful story. So what motivated the both of you to apply? Maybe let's start with you now.
As I've said, this was something I wanted for myself, and I wanted to have an international experience of cybersecurity. Cyber threats are without borders, so I thought the same should apply to my education.
Yeah, what motivated you to apply?
Okay, this year I just promised myself that I'm going to bring in my A game. And, I was in that competitive spirit, and I was always checking my emails, and then I found this opportunity, and I said, why not?
Yeah.
I'm taking it.
What excites you the most now as you look at what's coming?
Oh, me?
Yeah, what excites you the most?
I'm a lover of languages. I want to learn Tswana, and also I am a lover of culture. I want to learn their culture, and also I want to learn how it feels like to just travel and be in another space, meet new people and all that.
Well, what about you? What skills and knowledge do you hope to gain from this experience?
Well, I hope to gain, I hope to learn to work with a multicultural team, and I hope to learn how Botswana students and their lecturers tackle IT problems, and to contribute where I can, really.
Yeah, and how have you been preparing academically and cultural for this particular program? Let's start with you.
Okay. What I've done, because, I understood the fact that I'll be in another country, I'll meet different lecturers. What I've done for myself is that immediately when I got accepted, I just started to prepare. I started to learn prior. I started to, just learn the introduction of the next modules that I'm going to be experiencing, so that I don't panic, so that I'm not anxious. And also I have just tried to learn a bit of Tswana and, just be in the mode of, going outside the comfort zone and be like, okay, now I'm going to be in a different country with different people.
Yeah, besides the language barrier, which I believe you are excited for because you said you want to learn new languages, but it is still a bit of a challenge. I understand. What other challenges do you anticipate? Yeah. What challenges do you anticipate to experience?
Being away from home, being away from my friends and my support system.
Luckily, we have smartphones now.
It's going to be difficult, but I'll try to keep in touch.
Yes. Yeah. For you?
Basically, it's just the fear of the unknown. We don't know what challenges we're going to face. We don't know how, the environment is going to be. And we don't know how long it will take us to adjust to the environment. And, it's just the fear of unknown. We don't know exactly what to expect and what not. But yeah.
Yeah. Wamgelwe and Tanzile, congratulations, first and foremost. And all the best on your program. And that is Boto University Student Exchange Program. And you hear it from the horses themselves who will be enjoying this particular experience. Let's go for a net break. We have another interview after the break. Stay with us.
kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna senze ukukhicita lokusendile.
Welcome back to the program. A very good morning once again. Thank you so much for staying with us. As promised when we started the show, we are going to have a really interesting conversation premised on what I want to call the measure of a life that is often found not only in what a person achieves, but in what remains after they are gone. Today, the late Pastor Zakhele Israel Malaza's voice will once again find expression through the official launch of his posthumous manuscript, The Leadership Born. Described as a guide to successful and effective leadership, the book represents years of wisdom, of faith, of service, and a commitment to developing others. Joining us this morning are two people who knew the author better than most: his son, Lindo Makakula, and his daughter, Tobile Motsa. Together, they have taken on the responsibility of preserving and sharing their father's final message with the nation, as well as talking about this launch as well as the conference. A very good morning to the both of you. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Maybe before we discuss the book itself, tell us about the late Pastor Israel Malaza. I mean, everyone in Eswatini, I can say almost everyone in Eswatini knows who he is, but you know him from a different level. Just tell us about him. Who was he? And particularly away from the pulpit. Let's start with you, Toby.
Thank you so much. Good morning to everyone. Thank you for having us. Our pastor, our late pastor, was a pastor. That was his title, but he went over and above that, and he was a father to us. He was a father who was a disciplinarian, who led with integrity. He loved his children, which is the congregation. He loved God, and he taught us how to honor God, how to respect God, and how to honor self by promoting and presenting God in the way that you lead your life. He was a father figure. He was a dad to 3 beautiful boys, and he led with such integrity on and off the pulpit. And we are blessed to have interacted with such an angel, because when he passed, we really noticed that he was definitely an angel on earth.
Yeah. Lindo, you want to add on to that?
Yeah, I think one thing that stands out for me about him is that beyond being a great apostle, he was a man of impact. Wherever you go, I believe that when you enter the room, your presence should be felt. And I believe even beyond the grave, he is still touching lives. He is being remembered for all that he has done and all the lives that he has impacted. So, yeah, he was a man of impact.
Yeah, I love the words that you guys use and the adjectives. You say he was a disciplinarian. You say that he led with integrity. And that integrity, I believe, also informed the impact that he had, as you put it, Lindo. So I want to ask you the values that you feel like from that he instilled in the both of you in unique ways, possibly. Let's start with you, Lindo, this time.
I think one of the things that stands out for me is from a mentorship perspective. He was a man that you would want to look up to and someone you'd want to be like. I remember my first experience with him. I wasn't yet part of the church. I was at another church and he was invited there as a speaker. And I was in Sunday school, and I was just amazed by this man who could literally sing very well and spit fire whenever he speaks. And so that's one thing that that he inspired with many, that, is a man that you wanted to be like.
Yeah, so when he came to your church and he was preaching or singing, whatever he was doing, and you were in Sunday school, you looked at him and you were like, that's my pastor.
Yeah, basically, where I think God works in mysterious ways. One of the ways that he shows you maybe what you want to do in the future is when someone is doing it, you feel like, oh wow, I want to do that. And that's what he did for us.
What about you, Toby? Some of the values, some of the lessons and leadership, styles or whatever that he instilled in you during his time?
100%, very humble, yet very firm. He would interact with each person as though that was all that mattered at that point. And each person got the utmost attention. He would ensure that he would give time. I think we lack that right now as leaders. We are not able to give time because we feel that we're too busy or we have so much going on. But he always made sure to make time for his people, make time for the body of God. And he was always out there helping, whether it's corporates with team building assistance or just children in general. A lot of our youth looked up to him, and they were able to even speak to him more than they did their own parents because they could just open up to him. He just had that about him. So very, very humble man, but yet very firm in terms of his stature and how he presented himself.
Yeah, and I'm one of the people who believe a book writes itself way before it is ever even written at all, through action. And from the way that you describe him, it sounds as though you already saw the book writing itself in action. And I just want to ask you, was that a conversation that was happening internally when he was still around, that pastor, surely with your integrity, with your meekness, with your discipline skills, everything that you guys are saying about him, you need to write a book. We need to have something that we can have everyone read.
Yes, we definitely engaged in a lot of those conversations. The pastor was fortunate to lead leaders, so it was important to him to interact with us as saints and children in the church, but also in the leadership positions that we hold, and to be able to guide us in that manner. So he spoke very highly of the book and wanting to leave valuable lessons, core values and principles of what it is to be an astute leader, what it is to leave a legacy that speaks for itself, because he did that. He left a legacy that speaks for itself. There's very little that we need to say about him, because the life that he lived is testament to what he believed, testament to what he spoke. And we too every day strive to lead in that fashion, and really do our best to follow in his footsteps.
Absolutely. Linda, I want to come to you because the whole church then becomes his family. And I think that the big question there is, following his passing, which I believe was, very, very painful for a lot of you guys.
That's true.
What really inspired the family to ensure that his manuscript is published and completed?
Devastating, yes, that is very true, because it came very much unexpected. And when you still believe that someone is going to live for long, because you can see that there's a great deal of impact that they're bringing to the world, and God has a lot in store for the world through him, and now he is gone. But I think what inspired the release of this manuscript is that the messenger was one with the message. And he always believed in his book. I remember one person standing up in church and saying whenever he would write a line in that book, he would come and say, please read this line. And whenever the person would read this line, it's like, Mfana, you can't write like this. This is powerful. So he believed in his craft. He believed in what he was doing. He believed it was inspired by God. And it would have been injustice if this was left untouched, if this was left as just papers that from a typewriter, and I'm even thinking of an old typewriter where the manuscript is not published. This had to be published.
Yeah, I want us to get into the title of the book before we open the book. The Leadership Born, very powerful and unique. What did leadership mean to your father, to your pastor? But also, what is the significance of the Leadership Born?
So I could say so much about that. The book itself is a guide of integrity. It epitomizes zeal, tenacity, growth. He always spoke of the leader isn't the person that you're seeing who's already sitting at the top. The leader is a lady that's at the marketplace who has her own veggie stall. She's a leader in herself. A leader is an athlete who is ambitious and wanting to be a champion tomorrow. They need to possess leadership skills to be able to be that person that they want to be. So he believed that to lead others, you need to exemplify those things. So he was very determined, very ethical, as I had stated, and very passionate, very driven by succession planning, handing over the baton, ensuring that the people that are watching you are able to follow in your footsteps, not just look up to you and then once you're gone not know how to go about positioning themselves. It was very unfortunate that our pastor had to leave us so early in the walk, in our journey, but he always believed that the work continues, and this is what we're saying, that the work continues. Nothing has stopped. And him having this labor of love, which he wrote while he was highly ill in his sick bed, is now able to be in our hands, and we are able to live up to it and follow in his footsteps even in his passing.
Yeah. You say it's a guide of integrity, and you say that it epitomizes zeal and tenacity. And I want to ask you, Lindo, as you revise his writings, and I'm sure both of you have read the book and you have finished it, as you revise his writings, was there a particular lesson or chapter that felt particularly personal to you?
So, one thing that I can maybe say to the viewers is that the beauty about this launch is that it's a leadership bone. We are all going to be chewing the bone for the first time together tomorrow. So what we have is nuggets of what is in the book. So, but maybe to share some of the nuggets there is that it is premised on, she did speak of ethical leadership, but I think what he was mostly concerned about, or really believed in, is accountability as a leader. You should be accountable when you're trusted, because leadership is being entrusted with something, and that will come across very strongly in many of the chapters there, wherein as he goes through writing about leadership, he will be writing about being ethical and accountable with whatever you're doing, whether in the field, whether in the marketplace. You should be an ethical leader. And as she mentioned, while you are ethical, you want to be influential, because the next generation will be good leaders because they saw good leaders
Indeed,
before
yeah.
them. So that is what will be captured a lot in the book.
Yeah, and a leader without accountability is not a leader.
It's not a leader
I
at
like
all.
that so much,
Yeah.
And, I think it's very important because every time I read books, I'm a reader myself, I realize that authors, as we know them, always reveal something on a book that we may have not known before, right? Is there a side of Pastor Zakhele that, the readers will see that they may have not seen publicly before? You don't even have to tell us that what it is, but just to confirm that it is there.
Definitely a lot of humor. He was very humorous, and our senior pastor, Mam Fundisi, she's very excited for us to have the book in our hands because she says there's so many points where you're reading it and you immediately hear his voice. You can pick up his voice. You can pick up the tone that he would use. But a lot of humor, while very serious, while very direct and straight to the point. So I think people will definitely look forward to getting a lot of humor and just very light moments that they can identify with him while he was still here.
Yeah. When you assess the state of leadership in today's society, particularly on the next generation, because I see that the both of you have been quite, what's the word? You've been quite particular about, highlighting the next generation, which is very important because the baton is to be passed on to the next generation. When you assess the style of leadership that is prevalent right now and juxtapose it with what Pastor Zakhele was passionate about, or what he believed in terms of, the style of leadership. Do you believe it is in congruence, or something that needs to be shaped by the book?
Well, to be quite honest, one thing that comes to mind as you are talking right now is the fact that how are we using the word honorable in our society today? It is such an easy word. I mean, you go to parliament, you go everywhere, honorable member, honorable this. But the question is, are people really honorable out there? So I think what will come out of this book is reminding us to not just loosely use these words, but actually be what we are calling each other. And that is a next generation of honorable leaders.
I like that. I like. Do you have anything to add on to it, even if it's a different frame of thought?
I would say we look up to the youth so much. Tomorrow's the youth is tomorrow's leaders, and we can't close the door. I'm happy to be surrounded by so many leaders that I also look up to, that are opening the door and are taking the youth along with them and wanting to put their voice on the platform and wanting to ensure that their ideas and their creativity is being utilized and adequately used out there. So that's who our pastor was. He always wanted us to all be on the table, whether it was in preparation for the launch. He wanted everyone's idea, from the musical team to the youth. Everyone would come together and ensure that when we are in the launch, on the launch, there's a bit of everyone in that room and everyone's idea. So it for me, it's everyone coming together to ensure that there's an outcome that speaks to or touches each person in that room.
And I know, very important, because we speak about inclusive societies, even the leadership that we are starting to see in the country. We can see the equity. We're seeing more women in leadership positions. So everyone on the table and everyone brought together. I love how that is also just translating in real life. This launch today is not just a celebration, but it's also a milestone. How does that make you guys feel today? How excited are you? And just take us through the atmosphere in the church and the atmosphere in your hearts.
I like what she said about how it is evolving and what's happening. I think the atmosphere is a hug beyond the grave.
Yeah.
A hug from beyond the grave, from Pastor, the great apostle. So the atmosphere is an atmosphere of love, is an atmosphere of excitement, is an atmosphere of we cannot wait to chew the bone. And I mean, like we've said, we have been seeing nuggets of what is happening there. I mean, we've got the great apostle leaving us with the mandate of the work continues. And we've got our senior pastor, the wife to the great apostle, continuing with this baton. And you can see that this man did not just leave us idle. He left us with a woman of God that is really carrying this vision through, and excellently so. And so we are excited about what is happening and what this book launch and conference will be bringing to us as a church and as a country and as a globe.
A hug beyond the grave. I really love
it.
That phrase. As he hugs us beyond the grave, what do you think makes him very, very proud today?
That we continue, and we want to continue in respect, in honor, in adoration. We want to ensure that his values are out there, that they're known. We want to celebrate him in the most utmost respect. It's very melancholic. It's such a bittersweet moment. We celebrate. We're so proud, and yet it is very bittersweet, like I say. But we are proud to even have something like this in our hands, even after the grave. And that hug that he speaks of, it definitely does feel like it. And our pastor is a very warm man, and for everyone that did experience him, they really do know of his warmth and his love. So we are hoping that that's what the people will receive. Just that warmth, that love, that encouragement, that voice that says, you know you're not doing right now, but not being too hard. Being a fatherly disciplinarian. And yet, when you read it, I need to correct my ways. As a leader, I'm moving away from the things of God. I'm moving away from who God has called me to be. We are all called to live a life of purpose, and that is not for self, but it's for others. So that's definitely what he represented, and that's what people will get at the launch, but more so that's what they'll get when they read the book. I believe that we will read this book over and over and get different expressions of it each time we do read it, but it is a labor of love, and his whole heart was in it, and it's what he did until the last day. So we take heart that it's a piece of him, literally, that he wanted to leave with us at the very end of his life.
I want you to take us into the launch as well as the conference. I see here it says join us for the official book launch that includes the book Mocktail Gala and guest appearance by Bishop Benjamin Dube. That is very big.
Me?
Yeah. So I think one thing for certainty that I can share is that this will be a weekend to remember for us. This book launch is actually an opening for our annual conference, which is a 3-day conference starting today and ending on Sunday, where we've got a very, very good lineup. As you have said, the keynote speaker for this launch will be the Bishop Benjamin Dube himself, and then we've got on Saturday our conference continuing. The book launch will be taking place in hall number 2 in Mavuso Trade Center, and then the conference then will continue on Saturday in our church premises, which is Helemisi Mavuso, just opposite FEA, there in Mavuso. And we will have on Saturday a prophet, Ralkholela from South Africa, who's going to be bringing a good message from our Father, the Lord. And then on Sunday, we will have Pastor Mandla Shabalala, who is well known from Spirit of Praise as Umfundisi for the great song Bam Bam Zalwane, who will be ministering. So it is a power-packed weekend for us as GPI, and looking forward to having you, actually.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, there's definitely space for that book in my shelf. I'm excited to read it and have a taste of this guide of integrity, discipline, zeal, tenacity, all the words that you guys have been mentioning. I feel like it's something that I really need right now in my life. Anything you want to add on to it before I say my goodbyes to the both of you?
I'd love to add that our conference starts at 6 p.m. And the launch also starts at 6 p.m. on Friday. And we still have a few more tickets at the gate. So those that haven't bought their tickets, they are still welcome to get tickets at the gate. Please do try and be on time. We have a beautiful evening lined up with the bishop as part of the entertainment on the day. But like we've said so many times, an evening of love, celebration, and joy.
Lindo and Toby Motsa, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your father's final work. Behind your father's final work, I beg your pardon. But also, I think very importantly, through the leadership bond, we are really going to enjoy his faith, his wisdom, and his leadership philosophy that is going to permeate and traverse generations to come. The Leadership Bond book launch happening today. Make sure that you head on to every information that they have espoused today, and make sure that you're there this weekend and get that book. It is 56 minutes after 7. We'll go for a net break and we'll be back to wrap the show up shortly. Stay with us.
iBhayibheli lithi kwakude lebekadzingile emkhathini wabo ngoba lebekanako bekakuletha etinyathelweni tebapostoli bese bakudistributor according to the needs talabazalwane babo.
Sekabekalanga ukuthi nilanga lokweshumi nesondlo semfundisi wondliwa kuthi wendene ngoba lithi iBhayibheli umundvodza iyodla ukuthi utayo. Yabona?
We don't collect the money by force. We receive the money from a cheerful giver. And that's my position. So it seems as though the church is not doing anything. No.
Ugela lihlelo lwakho njalo ngomsombuluko ensimbi yesithupha kusihlwa emsakadweni wakho lohamba phambili Eswatini TV isibuko samaswati.
To all the viewers of Eswatini TV in the kingdom and beyond. Eswatini TV is regulated by the Eswatini Communications Commission through the Broadcasting Code and Broadcasting Guidelines. Under these instruments, the station commits to broadcasting information and news that have been fact-checked, programs and content in respectful language with no elements of hate speech, violence or sexual activity. If you hear any unsuitable content on this channel, you have a right to voice your complaints with the station management. Should you not be satisfied with the response or action taken, you can escalate your matter to the Communications Commission at PO Box 7811 Babani. Call 2406 7000 or send an email to info@esccom.org.za. For more information, visit www.esccom.org.za.
All right, 10 minutes before 8 o'clock, we've come to the end of our show today. Thank you for tuning in. This was the Friday edition of Kusile Breakfast Show. If you've just tuned in, why not? You can still watch this episode on our YouTube page, Eswatini TV. It's the beginning of the weekend. Yay.
A lot of football action this weekend, but also a lot of church action for some of us. Siyawuhlangana khona ke emapulpit ithina bema-praise team. Ibe ne-weekend lenhle kakhulu bekunene nale phephile. Sitawubonana ngeMsombuluko. Nisale kahle.